Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another match reaction. Man City 3, Fulham 2. I have some interesting things to say. I'm not going to call it up as some good performance. It's a good result, and I'm happy we got 3 points, but good performance it was not. Before I get into that, if you do me a massive favour and please leave a like on this video, it'd be massively appreciated, and subscribe if you are new. But yeah, man, it's tough. We're not playing well, but we're getting results. It's one of them where I don't really know what else to say. I mean, I'll start with the positives because there was a couple. We did win, of course, which is the main positive. And I don't want to just split negatives and we were shit this and this wasn't good enough and this player is not good enough, and I don't want to do that because we've won. So it would kind of feel wrong, but I mean, that's the main talking point. Is it's not, we shouldn't have won. Is basically what I'm trying to say. We shouldn't have won. Fulham should have got something from that game. Adama Traore missed a hat trick of sitters, and that was only the tip of the iceberg. Really, we looked so open. But again, I'll start with some positives because again, we won. We won 3-2, 3 points. Stay in second, I believe, with everybody else kind of winning around us. So, it is what it is. Another home game win, which, goes towards our record. I think that's 50 games now. I don't know whether that's just league games or not. I would assume it's 50 league games. I was hearing on commentary. Anyway, it's been almost 2 years since we last lost a home game. And that's a record to be proud of. And we've won a lot in that time, scored a lot in that time, and that's kind of the foundation for winning a title, really, is having a really good home record. You see, Liverpool have had a really good home record. And being unbeaten at home is goes a long way to winning a title. So, of course, we extend the record. Not that I'm particularly bothered about those sorts of records. It's like the Rodri unbeaten record, I wasn't really too bothered. I was just bothered about, picking up silverware at the end of that. And if he goes unbeaten, that sort of thing. But, of course, Kovacic got man of the match today, deservedly so, 2 goals. I believe that takes him up to 3 so far this season. So we're at the stage now where, he's got his customary three goals already. And we're only international break number 2. We've only hit October. So, a little bit worrying that he's kind of bailing us out, because he's probably the player you expect to least bail you out, if we're being totally honest. But, he's having to take up that Rodri mantle and cover for him, and he's covering really well. And, a couple of goals that were Rodri-esque. You've seen Rodri do both of those things. First one was just pure power. Beat the keeper with the deflection, but again, even with the deflection, it was still travelling. So plenty of oomph behind it, and that was the equaliser. And then the go ahead goal was, I'd say, a little more Rodri. The typical, pick a corner, side foot, be the goalkeeper with just pure precision instead. Great first touch to get away from his man in front of him, and again, great finish. He's not a shooter. This was most certainly a blip, because you just have to go back to the Arsenal game a couple of weekends ago and look at his shooting there, and you realise this is not Kovacic. This is kind of a blip, but a welcome one. Man of the match again. He's doing well, although I'd still potentially like to see us go out in January and sign someone, because what happens if Kovacic gets injured, you know what I mean? But as for right now, he's doing good. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there who don't like him, who don't rate what he does, and think that he's just bang average. But you're gonna hold your hands up and say he's doing really, really well at the moment. And again, another player that is a little bit of a polarizing figure and people don't seem to like too much is Jeremy Doku, and he took his goal really well. I mean, it's an absolute screamer. It's a goal that we don't score very often from our wingers, because we don't have wingers, or we haven't had winger that's been able to do that since Mahrez, really. And then before that, it was kind of, every now and then you might get one, but Mahrez was kind of the the king of doing that, of cutting inside onto his left and trying to, stick one in the top corner. Although his was, again, more precision. If you look at Mahrez, it was more curling into the top corner. This one from Doku, he's just smashed it. There was no movement. It was just an arrow. It was straight as an arrow right into the top corner. Maybe there's questions over the goalkeeper, but great finish. And again, I'm happy to see him get his goal. He's come under a lot of stick for certain parts about his game in terms of maybe his decision making and various other things that need to be worked on. But at the same time, he's played really well in his last 2 games. I'm a bit puzzled. I will say, actually, I'm a bit puzzled that him or Savio didn't start. It really confusing, man. I guess that's kind of a good segue to get onto some more negative things. Is I have no idea whatsoever of what Pep is actually trying to do. His team selection is just bizarre. His subs are just weird. And it's just a little bit confusing to me. I know he likes to experiment, but this is almost... He's taking a piss, really, isn't it? Like, I don't really understand what he's trying to do. Bernardo on the wing is not it. You've got Savio and Doku on the bench. For whatever reason, you didn't play with both of them, in midweek in the Champions League, and now neither of them are playing. I know Doku started that game. Savio came on, I believe, in midweek against Bratislava, but to not then pick at least one of them this weekend it's shocking. Most teams are going to pack the bus, and to go with Bernardo and Grealish, it was just bizarre. What's the need for control? I understood it a little bit against Newcastle because we're away, but we're at home. It's just puzzling. Gundogan starting again. Not that I have anything against that. It's kind of more just, was he supposed to start 3 games in a row? Was that by design? I'm pretty sure it wasn't. When we signed him, it wasn't to, with the idea of him starting 3 games in a row in mind. Again, nothing bad today. It was all right, but it was kind of just didn't expect him to start at all. Really, it's just one of those. And then again, the subs. It was Akanji off for Walker. Walker playing centre back and then getting outdone for pace. He was bought on for his pace, and then he gets outdone. And it was just so odd. Some of the subs. There were players out there that looked like they were genuinely struggling. At one point, I think it was about 10 minutes towards the end, Vardy looked like he was blowing. He looked like he was done. Apparently, he said he was all right to continue because Pep was asking him, but he looked done. He looked tired. And he stayed on the pitch, and it was just strange some of his team selection. I mean, it's kind of working because we're winning, but it's not producing the best of performances. Like I said at the start, we're Adama Traore missing a fucking hat-trick of sitters away from looking at a defeat. And it wasn't a good performance all around from that. The only reason why you can kind of sugarcoat it and get around it and kind of come away with a positive, really, is the fact that we've won. We've won, so you can't really be too negative. But another day, a better team, just better finishing on the day from Fulham, and we've lost, or at best drawn. Like, no way we should have come away from 3-2. 3-2, and Adama Traore has missed a hat-trick of sitters. It's not a good look. We're not playing particularly well. Still think Pep's trying to search for exactly what he wants to do, but again, in terms of team selection and substitutions, it's just really, really odd at the moment. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of it. We take the 3 points, we move on. We speak less about this game, and at the end of the season, hopefully we look back on this and go, it was a good 3 points. It was a good 3 points towards the title, but I don't know, man. You let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. It's kind of a down video, even though we've won, which is a bit strange, but I can't just sit here and pretend that just because we got 3 points, it was a good performance. It really wasn't. It was a strange game. He went from last week against Newcastle, he went, really safe, and the game was he tried to control it. He didn't want the counter-attacks from Newcastle. He went, his team selection and his personnel in the game against Newcastle at the last weekend was, again, sticking controlling players on the pitch. Grealish, Bernardo, he had Gundogan, Rico, in midfield and no proper number 10. It was very controlled and very slow. Today, even though we had Grealish and Bernardo on the wing and you had Gundogan and Kovacic in a pivot and, Rico stepping into midfield, it was just the opposite of control. We were so open at the back, and that's kind of my main... That's my main concern at this point, to be honest, is we look so open at the back. And that's the main point that needs addressing for me. Whether it's Stones coming back in, whether some people think it's Walker coming back in, something needs to change because we're getting caught on the counter. We look so open. I mean, I don't want to drag it on too long, but for as good as the back heel was from the first goal, I think Akanji's just asleep. And then the second goal, we have about 6 players, maybe even more in the box, and there's a free man. It's not good defending. He needs sorting out. But, I trust in Pep to figure this out. He'll figure something out. Again, when players come back, you got Ake coming back after the international break, or he should be. He started some individual work. So, time to uptick the performances. But right now, 3 points. That's all that matters. Do me a massive favour. Please leave a like on your way out of this video. It'd be massively appreciated. And subscribe if you are new. No idea what the international break has planned for us. Obviously, try and get something out. But no transfer windows. So, who knows, man? Who knows? Stick on those notifications. And hopefully I'll see you soon.